but it's the back that really whole nother issue. Look at that. So big bindery. You can even follow the line all the way up to the top. That is crazy. I've never dealt with a book this yellowed. All right, everyone. So I will go ahead and tell you, I was thinking about what to do with this because I've never seen anything like that happen before in a cleaning where things just came up. I don't want to over clean anything. It's like for long, you end up in the back of the book. So I think what I'm going to do is I think we're going to heat this a little bit. I did forget to heat it earlier when I started. Go ahead and do this distilled water and finish up with that, and go ahead and give it a good press, see how it comes out. I've been talking to Rick with Immaculate Comics a little bit this past week. Go ahead and maybe get the video put together and let him see if he's ever experienced anything like this, and kind of guess on where to go from here with this. Like I said, I don't want to over clean anything. I feel like it is just dirt. I feel like these are comics that had been stored for a long time. Whatever, maybe they were returns, I'm not sure. But yeah. So we've got to heat it a little bit. And I'm just going to go ahead and go over it with the distilled water. And then we're going to do our normal pressing and see how it turns out. So, see, I'm still getting that up. But we're going to just do the distilled water like we always do with our final kind of clean. See how it turns out. And then go from there. So I didn't do anything to the front. I can always come back, clean that again later. So what we do need to do is, all right, so a couple things. All right, we're going to put the press down, let our plate warm up, get our steamer going here because I'm going to steam the front of the book. Okay, so we got our steamer going. All right, lay that down. Let's get our boards here. All right. So get into our center fold. Okay, got our sandwich there. All right, press is all nice and hot. Our silicone sheet. Take our sandwich. Make Make sure everything's tucked real nice. All right, then we'll wait on that to press for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then we'll let it sit, and then we'll see how we did. So again, I've never seen this happen before. Again, you know, we thought it was mainly oxidation, but maybe it was dirt and stuff from having sat in storage for so long. You know, like I said, with those pallets, what they did is they just stacked the comics up from the printers, put a sheet of wax paper on top and bottom, wrapped them in twine, tied them up real tight, and then stacked them on pallets. You know, these could have been returns. Some people have told me that the paint you see on top of comic books are actually turns. Hold on. So like this paint here that you see on top of this comic, I've never been positive that was the truth. I felt that I've seen cases at distributors, and I've seen that paint on top back in the early 80s when there was still distribution to newsstands, because people would say that that was the count on returns. But back in the day of the 60s, when these were put out, if you wanted to return a book and get credit, you had to tear the whole cover off. Then in the 1970s, they allowed you just to tear off the top title and then send that in. And then eventually in the late 70s, they just took your word for it. So these are from the mid 60s. So for the returns to occur, you would have had to rip the whole cover off. I've always felt that this paint is based on either the printer or the distributor. So once the distributor got their comics and they know that a pallet had been counted, then they would just go along and spray paint the edge. I think it's just a mystery. If some people know the actual truth and have firsthand evidence, you know, I've cited what little bit of firsthand evidence I have, which is actually seeing pallets at distribution places. I don't know if anybody's got any other info. If anybody's seen anything that's happened like this, hey, please let me know. Otherwise, let's check back in about 8 to 10 hours and see how our book's done. All right, Comic Fam. So it's been maybe about 8 hours. I have to admit, I'm a bit nervous. This was such a strange book. With all that came out. All right, so let's see. All right. So well, that front cover looks pretty amazing. All those little areas we were worried about with the binding came out. The back has pretty good gloss. Definitely we can see how that color really matches now. Yeah, a lot more. And it's still got some gloss. We could go over it one more time with some distilled water. I did rub across this edge here with the Immaculate just to see if it'd make a difference. I can tell a little bit of a difference, but it looks like I do need to go across it one more time, some distilled water, then we'll press it again. So we left the book in here for about 10 hours. I ran over it one more time, some distilled water. I still had some haziness from the Immaculate, which will happen. Yeah. Okay, So that helped out a lot. Hitting it with that distilled water one more time. Oh yeah. So had some haziness over there. Looks like that all taken care of. Oh yeah. All right, let's give you all a closer look. So got the book laying down flat. You see how nice and flat that is. And yeah, look at that gloss, and see where the bindery was earlier. All that's gone. I had a little haze up there. That seems to be gone. So just really nice. Again, I'm going to do a look at it before and after, but I think we've definitely faded that out quite a bit. And you can't even see where those bindery marks were. All that is gone. There we go, and you can see the gloss is there. Yeah, really nice. So I think that we're gonna call it for that book. Whew, thank you all if y'all have hung in there with me on this journey. I think we greatly improved the book. Definitely we didn't hurt the gloss. We got out all the bindery marks that were on the front cover. We did clean a little on the edge. If I had thought about it, it might try and go across the bottom. I think there's some dirt there that maybe could be removed too. The biggest improvement was, of course, on the back of the book. We got rid of all of those bindery marks that were there in the middle of the book where you could actually see the twine. And of course you saw the pads, so we had to improve that color somehow on the back. I think we did lighten it up quite a bit. I believe we got the color that was under the twine somewhat blended with the other color of the book. It's not perfect. You know, I doubt we're going to get it completely white. I definitely feel like that we have given it a pretty big grade bump, getting rid of the bindery marks on the edges and blending some of that color together on the back. All right, so with that, hey, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell anytime you want to see me, or there's a Charlie right there, and then there's a Jack hidden over here. Thank you all for tuning in, and remember, peace, love, and comics. Thank you all. Bye.